Stop telling people to fake it until you make it. Faking it is just another word for imposter syndrome. If you want real confidence, you don't need a vibe, you need an evidence-based identity. Today, we're talking about how to build a resume of wins that makes faking it obsolete. All right, before we start, let me go ahead and introduce our founder of Laddering Your Success, Festus Amoye. Festus, how you doing there, brother?
Hey, doing excellent. Glad to be here and looking forward to helping students and families.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For those of you who didn't know, this is Edu Steps, powered by Laddering Your Success. Also, I'm going to welcome the good Dr. Jamarc Crawford. How you doing there, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes, sir. Feeling good on a Sunday, man. Nice sunny day out here in Houston, Texas, man. Loving it. Loving it. All right, let's start off by talking about the mindset shift. Confidence is not the ability to walk into a room and think you're better than everyone. It's the ability to walk into a room and not have to compare yourself at all. So students, I got a question for y'all. What is one thing you are objectively good at right now? If you can't name it, that might be why you're nervous. For the squad, I want to ask y'all a question. We see students every day who have 4.0 GPAs, but zero confidence when they walk into an interview. Why has our school system made high achievers so incredibly insecure?
Man, if I tackle that one, I think the thing is, look at where grading comes from. Grading comes from an area where you don't know the information. You probably don't even have a purpose in that assignment. And then you turn it in and somebody else gives you a grade. And then that assignment is basically Puff the Magic Dragon gone. You don't have to live with the results. And I think, don't get me wrong, in life, we grade ourselves. We do things and we say, oh man, I wish I did better at this or did better at that. And the reality is, the first time you do something, you're not going to be that good at it. I think the real world is very different from school, because we can sit down and take okay, this is the criteria for the assignment. Boom, I did that criteria for the assignment. What's the criteria for finding a place to live? And I think this is where, when it's inside of school, we end up just shooting for the 4.0 GPA and not really connecting the assignments to real life. And then in real life, we end up just comparing ourselves to the Joneses and not looking at, where did I come from? What's my origin? What's my family origin? What's my personal story?
I think that when the question says, why has our school system made high achievers so incredibly insecure, using that scenario you gave when they are walking into an interview, and that's simply because academic intelligence does not transfer over into soft skills. So you could know, let's just assume they actually know the subject matter in which job field they're applying for. That has nothing to do with the soft skills that may be needed to have a great interview. I could be the smartest person in that field area, but if I can't communicate my thoughts properly in a way to convey that knowledge of subject matter, then I wouldn't get the job. Going into what Festus said, these academic subjects, if we could take real world application and transform the lesson to where students have experience with hands-on, or not more than just hands-on with building something or making something, but interacting with others and things of that nature. Now they have something that they could experience, such as the transferable skills and soft skills, and they could communicate that in their interviews, which is why it's really important to go beyond just the academic of whatever field you're interested in. That's why it's important to volunteer, to get internships where you can learn those soft skills.
Y'all making my head hurt. Y'all making my head hurt in the best way possible. Man, that's so powerful.
Hey, LYS fam, it's Ole. You know, if there's one thing I love, it's something free. I'm talking free 99, un gratis. No shipping or handling fees, no gotcha fees, nothing like that. With that being said, if you're graduating soon or thinking about college or need a nudge or help to decide, then our free ebook, 10 Things to Think About Before Going to College, has a very balanced and open-minded way of presenting your next steps. It captures broad topics in a personal way by giving students an insightful, interactive, and reflective source of inspiration. It is very beneficial to be able to visualize some of the concepts after high school and apply them directly to you. We all know life, college, and career planning decision-making choices for students can be challenging, especially as they near the completion of high school. This book will provide you with a self-paced guide to your success beyond academics and into real life. Not only is it free, you can complete this book within a week. This will definitely prepare you for long-term success. To get your free copy, simply go to lys.com/students. I mentioned it was free, right? Well, if I didn't, it's free. Like, for real, for real. Okay, back to the podcast.
2 things I got. Powerful. You don't have a purpose in that assignment. That's what you said, Festus. That is powerful. You don't have a purpose in that assignment. Assignment is something that you're given, and if it's not aligned with your purpose, you are in for a rough go. Dr. J, you said academic intelligence does not transfer into soft skills. Like, man, and this is why you see that person who just knows so much, but really isn't the best at necessarily critical thinking, maybe problem solving, maybe interpersonal communication, working with groups. This is going to be more of the isolationist, the one who wants to work on their own. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of jobs for that, but one of our mentors, Brother Cleo, says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And my mind just, that's what I mean when I said y'all hurt my head in the best way possible. I love that.
Hey, LYS fam, it's Ole. Thanks so much for listening to LYS. I just wanted to take a quick moment to talk to the parents. That's right, mom and dad. Parents, prepare your child for their best educational fit after high school with our comprehensive LYS Parents Guidebook. Our helpful guide includes a range of activities designed to help you better understand your child's unique gifts and abilities. Additionally, we provide valuable insights into the student loan debt crisis and offer practical tips on how to avoid accumulating large amounts of debt. Our ebook also includes a wealth of information on scholarships, grants, and payment exemptions that can help guide your child towards a bright and successful future. With our expert guidance, you can rest assured that your child is well prepared to make informed decisions about their education and career path. Don't let your child's future be in jeopardy. Invest in their future today by downloading the LYS Parents Guidebook. Simply go to lys.com/parents to get your copy today. Now let's get back to the show, because you know it's some good topics.
All right, let's jump into the know. We talked about who we are. We need to talk about where the resources. Who are the resources? Here's the stat. Research from the National Survey of Student Engagement, very good source, NSSE, shows that students who engage in high impact practices like internships or peer leadership report a 60% higher rate of self-efficacy than those who just attend class. There's a trend of this main character energy, right? For the Gen Zers and the Gen Alphas on social media. Is that actual confidence, or is this just a performance that leads to a crash when the real world hits in? That's a question for the students. All right, let's jump into the do portion. We're talking about action, the doing. Here's what I want y'all to do. Every day for 7 days, document 3 things that you did well, even if it was just waking up on time. For my students also, I want you to type evidence if you're done faking it and if you're ready to start building it. All right, now question for the squad. If a student feels like an imposter today, should they focus on affirmations and positive vibes? Or should they go out and master one difficult skill? Which one builds a permanent sun-resistant wing? And when we talk about sun-resistant wing, this is the thing of Icarus, right? Not flying too close to the sun, your wing melting and falling down. So which one is going to make our students more resistant to change, more impactful in regards to growth and setting that standard that allows them to lead their success? Let me know if you want me to ask that question again.
Yeah, we don't want them resistant to change, but I get what you're saying, more flexible with change. Yeah, I think learning the one skill and mastering it at a time is probably the most valuable thing, because when we master something, that means we've practiced. And a lot of times we need that practice. We need those reps to get better, to assess ourselves. And sometimes A student will make one YouTube video and think, hey, I'm a YouTuber now. And if you look at the big dogs in YouTube, they're dropping 3, 4, 5 videos a day. And they did it for 10 years while nobody was looking. And so mastering that one thing is really helpful.
I'm definitely going to go with this is definitely going and building your skill. Don't even think about affirmations and positive vibes. Like those things are good to hear, but those are from what is the word I want to say, subjective perspectives of others, right? So if I'm doing something, everyone's, oh, I'm doing a good job. That's great to hear, but if I continue to focus on my craft or that skill and improving, then that builds the confidence internally of what I know and what I'm able to do.
I love it. I love it, man. This is so substantial. I think the whole positive vibes thing is an appetizer, right? Or it's something that's very small. It may get you you get a little something in your tummy, but you want something more substantial that's going to allow you to last for the long haul, right? Very good. Just love the way, man, we're jumping on it today. All right, that's going to be it for our student podcast of Edu Steps powered by Laddering Your Success. Folks, if you love what you're hearing, if you love what you're seeing, for those of you who are watching, be sure to like, comment, make sure you subscribe to Laddering Your Success. If you really love it and you have a question, right? A lot of our students have amazing questions, but they don't have an outlet, someone that can listen to them. We want to be there for you. On that comment section, type your question in. We are always here to help you out, answer questions the best we can. Of course, helping you to ladder your success and always teaching you to be no do. I just re-upped on my wristband. All right. So for Dr. Jamarc Crawford, I'm Ole Sharonki. Thank you again for listening to this latest episode of Edu Steps for Students, powered by Laddering Your Success. Festus, go ahead and hit him with the phrase that pays, man.
Listen, y'all, there are legitimate excuses for not going to college. There's no excuse for not getting an education. If you like what you heard, go ahead and smash the like button. If you know somebody who needs to hear this, hit the share button. And if you think, man, what these guys have shared with us is so fire, I want to hear it all the time, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next episode.